Hi everyone, it's Ursa Midnight and welcome to a house inspired by Pixar's movie Up. Iron Wolf actually reached out to me and requested for me to do a 10-minute build challenge of the house. However, because of the house being, I have not seen that movie in many years, that I had to kind of use references. So I did have to look at photos to try to design this house to look like the movie one. So it's probably not super accurate, but we did try. So she reached out, she was like, hey, can you make the Up house? So I decided when I made it, I was going to do the 10-minute build challenge, but because I wasn't really able to actually build it in the 10 minutes, I decided to just record it, and it only took me about 30 minutes, and then I was just like, I'll do a 10-minute time lapse instead. So this is why the time lapse is a little different, or we haven't really seen time lapses in a while now, because I have been doing 10-minute build challenges. So I did my best with this house. I am not the greatest builder, especially referenced builds like this. I do struggle with the roof, so the roof is probably one of the hardest parts for me because it's just not really easy. I did have to use move objects to put the window with the roof because it was kind of hard not to. And overall, I am pretty proud of how this house turned out. I think it kind of looks like it. It looks like someone who was inspired by the house, and that's kind of what I wanted to go with, because my envision is maybe a small little family lives here, like a mom and a dad, and maybe they have a little infant, and they all live here, and it's just kind of their home. So that's just kind of the vibe I decided to go with. You'll see I actually don't go with this roof style. I ended up not liking it because it just covers half of the it covers the deck, but it also covers the little castle type of roof. So I just decided not to put a balcony roof over the deck. But I don't remember if they have one. They might, but honestly, it's okay. I did my best with this house. This isn't really my style of build. I really did try to focus on the build style anyway. I did look up how to build this, not how to build it. I did look up photos as references to the house, so I did try to stay as accurate as possible. I added a little extra windows, and I was trying to figure out where to put the door, but I ended up making that room that it's leading into a bathroom, so I ended up changing it, because I was like, oh wait, they need a bathroom in here. So I ended up just moving the stairwell and the door to the side there. And then you'll see I added a little nursery with a bedroom, so you will see that I did my best. Again, with it being The Sims, it's kind of hard to be very accurate with certain wall decals or just everything in general, so I did my best as well as I could in a house that isn't exactly the actual design of the house. So yeah, I want to give Iron Wolf a shout out. This was a really fun build idea. I did struggle a little bit on trying to build this. A lot of my pauses are actually just me looking at photo inspiration on how to build this house. So this house was really fun to build, and it took me out of my comfort zone. I mean, the living room, especially with their chairs, mismatch. You know, I'm very much a person who matches everything. So the fact that I had to mismatch things was a lot different for me. I did do my best on matching the chairs as accurately. However, there was no floral one that I could find. And I thought that there probably is, and I just couldn't find it. There were floral ones on this one, but they weren't the light floral that you see in the actual game. So I ended up going with that chair later on, but as you can see, I'm going through swatches, just trying to find a house similar enough. I ended up just going with the white swatch. I was like, it's close enough, honestly. And yeah, so we made it into a little room. So they have a little area, and then I'll add like a little TV because again, it's more of a modern family. You know, they have a TV, they have flowers, they have decorations and all of that. I made it that they shared a little lamp area. So I just really liked how this house kind of turned out. It does give you very much like a mom and pop house. So I was thinking maybe the Sim inherited it from maybe her grandparents. That could be a possibility. I mean, I don't mind making a family with, you know, a couple kiddos who are not a couple, yeah, a couple kiddos and, you know, the grandparents. I think I might end up doing that. I think I'm gonna make a whole large family from this house and then maybe get photos of the family to put around the house just to make it look a little bit lived in. Here I had to figure out the wallpaper for the outside. So the one part of the house has green walls, but the roof is all yellow. And then where the door is, it's like an orangey brown. Then the one part of the house is like a bright pink, which I didn't have bright pink in the game. I ended up making it red because the orangey brown just didn't look right. So this was very challenging, honestly. This was a very interesting build to try to figure out. I really liked the kitchen. I kind of went with like a mom pop vibe for the kitchen. Just trying to make a very cute, cozy little kitchen area. Then I added little shelves, added smoke detectors and alarms because I feel like, you know, they would be very big on having everything being protected. And then I had to look up what their tables looked like. It was not very helpful. I think it was like 2 chairs. I ended up just changing it up a little bit and making it kind of my own little bit of a dining room because it was kind of hard to create based off of the movie. At first I wanted to do 4-chair table, then I ended up just doing a 3-chair table. So that way when their kiddo ages up, their kiddo has a seat in the kitchen. And yeah, so that was the house. And then we moved on to the nursery. At first I had a green crib. Then I realized that they actually have a white crib in the movie, so we'll end up changing that. I ended up going with, I think it's a rainbow decor for the nursery top. And my whole reasoning behind it was, as you see, I'm going through different styles, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I ended up going with the rainbow because to me, they wanted to represent their kiddo. And then we just had a little rocking chair and some toys. Not a whole lot of toys, so I'll add more toys later. I haven't really decided on the family's fully story, but I really do think this family, you know, they have a story behind them. And I'm pretty excited to see what they are and who they become. Because I think that's going to really help with the family and just in all learning about the Sims and this family. I think I'm really excited for this family. They seem to be a really cool, fun little group of people. And then I just added some curtains to the bedrooms. The living room area, I didn't really want to try to put curtains with the weird window. And then that's the house, and then I moved it back. So later on, I do move it back a little bit just to make the front entrance where we build the gate around the front. Because in the movie, he has it gated. And yeah, so you can see I had a little bit of a glitch where it wasn't letting me do the fence the gate the correct way, and then we had to figure it out. And then later on you will see that I did a rainbow mailbox that kind of just symbolizes their family and all of that. Alright, I thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my upbuilding inspired sim house. I hope you guys like and subscribe and leave a comment, tell me more ideas of what to build. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.